Hey crypto fans, welcome to CCS Cryptocurrency State. My name is Santiago, I'm a web developer and investor. In today's video we are going to answer the question why you should buy Bitcoin in 2021. If you are new into the crypto world, this video will help you a lot to understand Bitcoin and why this is an investment opportunity right now. And if you have been in crypto for a long time, anyways, will help you to reinforce your decision to buy Bitcoin over altcoins. We are going to support all my research, and the information that I'm going to show you is based on news and it's not a speculation, it's all based on facts. Before we begin, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get the notifications and like the video. And leave me any comments about my research or any questions that you have. Without anything else, let's go into it. Hey guys, well, all my video today will base on the law of supply and demand. This is in what I base my research of this video about why you should buy Bitcoin. Basically, it's scarcity. The law of supply and demand is a theory that explains the interaction between the sellers of a resource and the buyers of that resource. The theory defines the relationship between the price of a given good or product and the willingness of the people to either buy or sell it. So basically, this is not only economics, it's also a psychological aspect of any people in the world. If you have something that is rare or not common and there are not many of them, anyone else will want it, and that will bring a value to the thing. In this case, we are going to discuss Bitcoin, and we are going to say the same about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has only a max supply of 21 million tokens. So there's no way in the future to get into more than 21 millions. That's a big step into this law of demand and supply. Even with gold, we don't know how much gold we have in the planet. So Bitcoin is, I think, the only asset that you can define the max supply that you could have over time. Right now, the total supply is 80,065,887 tokens. That leaves us that in the future, the only amount of Bitcoin that can be mined is almost 2.5 million more. After that, all the supply of Bitcoin will be already in the market or in possession of someone. On my research, I found out that between 3 and 4 million of Bitcoin have been lost forever. This means that the transactions on the blockchain are not able to recover that money. This could happen on the beginning of Bitcoin because someone maybe put the wrong wallet address and those Bitcoin were already lost. Or people lost the Bitcoin on a computer when they were mining, and there's a lot of reasons why this could happen. But basically, the majority of the people say that 3 or 4 million Bitcoin are lost forever. We are going to use 3.5 million as an average of what is lost forever. That will give us a max supply of 17,500 million Bitcoin in total. I will reduce the left to mine amount, and that will give you the real total supply today. That will be 15,125,887 Bitcoins in total. This introduction is important because we shouldn't be talking about 21 million. This is the reality now of how much Bitcoin we could have today around the world. So the analysis it's not a complete analysis. I just found out which are the wealth that have more Bitcoin around the world right now to trying to know how much Bitcoin really we have the possibility to buy right now, because usually a whale, which is a people that owns a large amount of Bitcoin, are here for a long time investments. That will mean that maybe we keep it in a hardware wallet or in a secure place for a decade before thinking of selling anything. So I found out that 2.7 million bitcoins are held on exchanges sits in the world top 5 crypto trading platforms like Coinbase, Huobi, Finance, Bitfinex, and OKEx. Then we have 1.1 million bitcoins that corresponds to Satoshi Nakamoto wallets held from 2009. This cryptocurrency had never been moved from those wallets. There's a lot of debate who is Satoshi Nakamoto or what will happen when he moved that money. But I have my theory that maybe that money in those wallets are lost forever. Because think about this, if you have more than $1 billion over there and you never move that money, it's a little strange. In my opinion, we in the future will be also counting that amount of Bitcoin is lost forever. Then we have almost 1 million Bitcoin that corresponds to 21 firms, including MicroStrategy and Galaxy Digital Holdings. They have in total almost the 4% of all circulating supply of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is the CEO is Michael Saylor, and he has been a huge crypto and mostly Bitcoin influencer for the last months. We could say that mainstream, he was the first CEO to buy Bitcoin for his company and use the cash reserves from the company to collect a portion of that and save it into Bitcoin. Then we have 450,000 Bitcoins that owns Barry Silver. He's the founder of Digital Currency Group. Roger Ver, known as Bitcoin Jesus, he owns 400,000 Bitcoin. Then the Winklevoss twins, Cameron Taylor, they are the Gemini Exchange owners also. They have 100,000 Bitcoins. Recently, we have a pump into the Bitcoin price because we found out that Elon Musk, Tesla, bought 1.5 billion into Bitcoin in January. And we don't know the price that they pay for Bitcoin at that moment, but the lowest price in the market in January was $20,600. So if we do a simple math, we will know that they bought approximately 40,675 Bitcoins. Then we have the PayPal news that we had before. On the last weeks, we saw a lot of this, that Square and PayPal have been buying a lot of Bitcoin because PayPal now supports cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to buy from PayPal. We don't know exactly how much they have been bought, but PayPal and Square Cash App have scored 100% of the new supply of Bitcoin according to the crypto hedge fund Pantera Capital for weeks. Doing also a small math, we know that there's 900 new Bitcoins per day, and let's say that PayPal and Square bought over during 8 weeks, that will give you 50,400 Bitcoins tokens. This is a little speculation because we don't know exactly how many weeks they have been buying Bitcoin, but that will give you an approximate number. I probably think that is a lot more. Then we have another crypto whales like Barry Silver. He also bought for himself almost 40,000. We have here, but this is for the company, it's not for his own. This is Bitcoin that he owns. Then we have Tim Draper, he's a Bitcoin whale also from the beginning with almost 30,000. And then we have Michael Saylor again that in an interview, Shut Up to Thinking Crypto, he has an amazing interview with Michael Saylor. He says there that he owns 17,000 Bitcoin. Then we have another personalities on the crypto world that we don't have exactly how much Bitcoin they own. For example, Mike Novogratz, he's the CEO of Galaxy Digital Holdings. The company bought, and it's including this number of 21 firms, but we don't know exactly how he owns, but probably it's a lot for what he discussed always. Then we have Dan Morehead, the CEO and co-chief investment of Pantera Capital. He's also a great influencer Bitcoin, and he probably has a lot of Bitcoin too. And Blake Myers, which was the CEO of Digital Asset Holdings. And of course we have Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, who owns a lot of Bitcoin, even we don't know exactly. But without counting these people that I don't know exactly how much they own, we already have reduced the amount of Bitcoin that is available into 9 millions. If we can say that between these four, they will have probably this amount, 347,000 Bitcoin probably. Probably it will be less than this. But right now we are only available to 9 million Bitcoins. And in this analysis, I am only taking some big personalities or companies that we know for in fact that owns Bitcoin. But we know for sure that many companies are right now following the example of Tesla, pushed by MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor. The companies are going to help part of their cash reserves into Bitcoin. That is coming for sure. We have news about Apple maybe doing that, and Google. Over the last week, Michael Saylor did a conference into more than 1,000 companies, explaining how he and his company have done these steps into help Bitcoin as a reserve instead of keeping all in cash. So probably we will have a lot of companies in the near future doing this. And like Michael Saylor saying in that company, I will not sell ever Bitcoin. So these companies will only hold Bitcoin. So that will make that money not enter into the market, and that will create a very big scarcity of the token. And Bitcoin will for sure continue going up in value. Like we say, it will be a store of value. Some facts that are funny of this is that we have almost 20 million people worldwide that have assets exceed $1 million. This is a statistic from the middle of 2020. That will say that we have almost 20 million millionaires around the world. And with this number, we already see that even if all the millionaires in the world want to buy one Bitcoin, they cannot do that anymore. They have lost the opportunity to do that if this is the correct number. I'm sure that is lowest than that. But even if each millionaire want to own one Bitcoin, they only can buy half of a Bitcoin or a little less. So even if Bitcoin right now around the $50,000, you can buy a portion of a Bitcoin. So anything that you can invest in Bitcoin over the long term, it will be a great investment. Another thing interesting is that around 2,000 individual wallets own almost the 40% of the market in Bitcoin. And the 13% of Bitcoins is just over 100 individual accounts. We also have another theory from a couple of analysts that say that actually it's not 3 or 4 million that Bitcoin has been lost forever. It's more around 8 millions. And each day there's an average of coins that are lost. So we can say that the total market supply, it will be very, very less than these 9 millions that I have here. But this is only to give you a big picture of what the markets are. And like we say, we have a lot of news about what will happen with Bitcoin in the short term. For example, we already have approved ETF in Canada and in US also, and this will continue to be a trend, opening new ETFs around the world, even not only in the US market. We also have been with the news about politicians talking about invest in Bitcoin, not for himself, but in terms of holding Bitcoin for different situations of the campaigns. For example, in Miami, they are passing the laws to be able to pay the employees in Bitcoin, held Bitcoin as reserve for the Miami governance and city treasury in Bitcoin, like say here. So we are having this explosion of important people talking about using and held Bitcoin as support. We also know that Mastercard now it will be supporting by crypto across the world. We all know that Visa is on that too. We have this new trend that the CEOs and celebrities are embracing Bitcoin on Twitter. We have a lot of comments, even Lindsay Lohan posted about owning Bitcoin. We have the Doge explosion the last 2 weeks that many celebrities have been buying Dogecoin. I don't recommend that, but anyways, we are creating a mainstream adoption of Bitcoin. Uber says no to Bitcoin, but if you read the news, you will see that they say that right now they are not getting the cash reserve into Bitcoin, but probably they could think about using Bitcoin as a transaction method for the company. And then we have Morgan Stanley, beer companies thinking into creating hedge funds in Bitcoin. So the news around the world are all moving into progress on Bitcoin adoption. And I think the most important notice on this year is that the companies, it will have as a cash reserve instead of cash Bitcoin. That will put the Bitcoin scarcity into new all-time highs. Well, that's it for the video today. I will put all the links of my research in the comment description. But that's it. Scarcity, that's the key for Bitcoin in 2021. So even if the price right now you will think that it's high and you want to wait until it's cheaper, I recommend you to start cost averaging the investment. So 1 per week, you put X amount of dollars that you can spend on this investment, and in the long term you will have a very good and profit investment. Bitcoin is the future, no doubt about that. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get the notifications, and thank you for all the support. Bye bye.